Hello everyone, I'm Saili Ingne and today I'm back with another video lecture for you. So before starting, please follow us on our WhatsApp and Telegram groups and please subscribe to our channel, that is Edufy India, for more such video lectures. So our today's topic of discussion is biological classification. Biological classification is the scientific procedure of arranging organisms into groups and subgroups on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities and placing the group in a hierarchy of categories. So, firstly, we will see some of the classification system. Earlier, classification was given by Aristotle. He divided plants into herbs, shrubs, and trees. Then he divided animals into two groups. One group contains animals, those with red blood, and another group contains animals, those who do not have it. So, further, two kingdom classification was given by Carolus Linnaeus. They are kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. But there was a problem with this classification system, that many of the organisms do not fall into any of this category. So this system did not classify organisms like eukaryotes and prokaryotes, unicellular and multicellular organisms, then photosynthetic, that is green algae, and non-photosynthetic, that is fungi like organisms. So further, after a time period, five kingdom classification was given by R.H. Whitaker. They are kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, kingdom Plantae, and kingdom Animalia. Main criteria for classification that R.H. Whitaker used include cell structure, body organization, mode of nutrition, reproduction, and phylogenetic relationships. That is, phylogenetic relationships means based on evolutionary relationships. So using this criteria, he classified organisms into these five kingdoms. So let's have a look. So this is a table that represents characteristics of the five kingdoms. So with the help of this table, you will get an overview about these five kingdoms and the characteristics that organisms of these kingdoms possess. Okay, so now we will start discussing about our first kingdom, that is kingdom Monera. Kingdom Monera has bacteria as solo members. Okay, bacteria are found almost everywhere, and bacteria on the basis of their shape can be divided into four categories. So first is coccus, that is spherical shaped, then bacillus, that is rod shaped, and vibrio, that is comma shaped, and spirillum, that is spiral shaped. Okay, now furthermore, bacteria divided into two parts, that is archaebacteria and eubacteria. So firstly, we will discuss about archaebacteria. Archaebacteria are group of prokaryotes which live under most hostile conditions, that is most extreme conditions, like organisms that survive in extreme salty areas are called halophiles. Then organisms that survive in hot spring areas are called thermoacidophiles, and organisms that live in marshy area are called methanogens. Okay, so this bacteria differ from other bacteria in having different cell wall structure, that is absence of peptidoglycan in their cell wall. And methanogens are present in the gut of several ruminant animals like cows and buffaloes. They are responsible for production of biogas, methane, from dung of these animals. So this was about archaebacteria and their characteristics. Now our second part of bacteria is eubacteria. Eubacteria are also called as true bacteria. They contain rigid cell wall, and if they are motile, means they can move, then they contain flagellum. Okay, so further we will discuss about autotrophic and heterotrophic organisms that are classified under eubacteria. So starting with autotrophic organisms. Autotrophic organisms or autotrophs are organisms that are capable of synthesizing its own food using light or chemical energy. So furthermore, these autotrophic organisms are divided into two types, that is photosynthetic and chemophotosynthetic. Photosynthetic means organisms use the sun's energy to turn carbon dioxide and water into sugar and oxygen. And chemosynthetic are the ones which use energy released by chemical reactions. Instead of the sun's energy, they use chemical energy released from chemical reactions to produce their food. So talking about photosynthetic bacteria, cyanobacteria or blue-green algae are gram-positive photosynthetic bacteria. They contain chlorophylla A and carotenoids. They may be unicellular, colonial or filamentous. They live in or they can be found in freshwater, marine or terrestrial areas. Some of them have specialized heterocyte cells to perform nitrogen fixation. Example, nostoc and anabaena. Now, chemosynthetic bacteria. Chemosynthetic bacteria oxidize inorganic substances like nitrate, nitrite, ammonia, etc. to produce energy, that is for production of ATP. And they help in recycling of nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, etc. Now, talking about heterotrophic bacteria. Heterotrophic bacteria are most abundant and act as decomposer. They are helpful in production of curd, antibiotic and fixing nitrogen in leguminous plants. Some of them are pathogenic and cause diseases in human beings, or they can even damage plants. Okay, so overall different types of bacteria causes different types of diseases like cholera, typhoid, tetanus, etc. So now in this slide we will discuss about mycoplasma. Mycoplasma are the simplest free living prokaryotes. They are also known as pleuropneumonia like organism, that is PPLO. They lack cell wall, means they do not have cell wall, and they can survive without oxygen. So oxygen is not needed for their survival. Means they can survive without oxygen. They are pathogenic in plants and animals, means they can cause disease in plants and animals. Okay, so this was about our first kingdom, that is kingdom Monera. Now we will discuss about our next kingdom, kingdom Protista. Kingdom Protista contains all single-celled eukaryotes, and this kingdom forms a link between plants, animals and fungi. So this kingdom Protista includes chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, eugloids, slim mold and protozoans. So one by one in the further slides we will be dealing with these groups. So first we will see chrysophytes. This group includes diatoms and golden algae which is found in fresh water as well as marine water. In diatoms, cell wall forms two thin overlapping cells which fit together as in soap box. The silica's indestructible cell wall pile up at the bottom of water reservoirs and form big hypes. Hypes are like mountains that are called as diatomaceous earth. So this can be used for polishing, filtration of oil and syrups, and this diatomaceous earth is considered as chief producer in oceans. So the picture which you can see on your screen is the picture of golden algae. Now our next group is dinoflagellates. Dinoflagellates are basically unicellular, motile and photosynthetic protists. Predominant color, that is main color, is golden brown, but yellow, green, red and even blue also exists. They have two flagella. One lies longitudinally and the other lies transversely in a furrow. Furrow is like a thin line between the wall plates. So talking about the example of dinoflagellates, some dinoflagellates like red dinoflagellates, example Goniaulex. The picture which you can see on your right side is the microscopic image of Goniaulex, that is a red dinoflagellate. So this organism, when it grows in large number in the sea, and it make the water look red and causes the red tides. Okay, so the picture which you can see on red tide, it is one of the coast in California. So when this organism, that is Goniaulex, grow in large number in the sea, it causes red tides. Okay, and they produce toxins, that is harmful products or harmful chemicals. So our next group is euglenoids. Euglenoids, they are unicellular organisms which possess pellicle instead of cell wall, which make their body flexible, and they have two flagella. One is short and other one is long. They are photosynthetic in presence of sunlight, but in the absence of sunlight they behave like heterotrophs, means they act as predators, that is they depend for their foods on other organism. An example of this group is Euglena. So this is the picture of Euglena. Now group is slim molds. Slim molds are saprophytic protists, means they live on and get its nutrition from decaying organic material, and under favorable conditions form an aggregation, that is aggregation means clusters called plasmodium, which produce fruiting bodies bearing spores. The cell wall of spores contains cellulose. These spores are dispersed, means they are spread by air currents. An example of slim molds are Physarum and Fuligo. Both the pictures are mentioned on your screen. So our last group under this kingdom is protozoans. All protozoans are heterotrophs and live as predators or parasites. Parasite means an organism that lives in or an organism of another species and get its nutrient from that organism. So they are called as parasites. These protozoans are considered as primitive relatives of animals. Furthermore, these protozoans are divided into four major groups. So one by one we will discuss about these groups. So this is the picture of four major groups of protozoans. First one is amoeboids. Amoeboids move and capture food by pseudopodia, that is false feet, and some are parasitic also. Example of this group is amoeba. Second one is flagellated protozoans. Flagellated protozoans are free living or parasitic and they have flagella. So this group of protozoan cause disease like sleeping sickness. An example is trypanosoma. Third group is ciliated protozoans. Ciliated protozoans are aquatic and have cilia all over the body for movement. So the cilia help them to move food into cavity, that is gullet, and help in locomotion, that is in movement. An example of this group is Paramecium. Our last group is sporozoans. Sporozoan includes organisms that have infectious spore-like stage in their life cycle. An example is Plasmodium, which causes malaria. Okay, so this was about our kingdom Protista. Now our next kingdom is fungi. Kingdom fungi consists of heterotrophic spore-forming eukaryotic organisms. Their cell wall is made up of chitin or fungal cellulose. Their reserved material is glycogen. These fungi, their bodies consists of long, slender thread-like structures called hyphae. The network of hyphae is known as mycelium. Some hyphae are continuous tubes filled with multinucleated cytoplasm. These are called coenocytic hyphae. Now, mode of nutrition. Their mode of nutrition is saprophytic, means they absorb soluble organic matter from dead substrates. Then parasitic means those that depend on living plants and animals. And then symbiotic means they can also live as symbionts in association with algae as lichens. Some examples of fungi are you must have seen fungi on a moist bread and rotten fruits. Then the common mushroom which you eat are also fungi. Yeasts are also fungi that are used to make bread and beer. Other fungi that causes diseases in plants and animals such as wheat rust causing are Puccinia, and it is an important example of fungi. The picture of wheat stem rust is present on your screen. So Puccinia is the fungi that is responsible for this wheat rust. Then some fungi are also source of antibiotics, means they have medicinal properties, that is example penicillium. Now reproduction in fungi. As you can see on your screen, there is a asexual reproduction cycle and sexual reproduction cycle. So reproduction in fungi can take place by vegetative means, that is fragmentation, fission and budding. Then talking about asexual reproduction is by spores called conidia or sporangiospores or zoospores, and sexual reproduction is by oospores, ascospores and basidiospores. The various spores are produced in distinct structures called as fruiting bodies. Furthermore, the sexual cycle of fungi involves 3 steps. The first step is plasmogamy, that is fusion of protoplasms. Then second step is karyogamy, means fusion of 2 nuclei. Then third step is meiosis in zygote resulting in haploid spores. But however, in some fungi like Ascomycetes and Basidiomyces, dikaryophase occurs. That is, it is a condition of having dikaryon in an intervening dikaryotic stage. Dikaryotic stage means 2 nuclei per cell is present. So that is why it is called as dikaryotic stage. So this dikaryotic stage occurs between plasmogamy and karyogamy in fungi like Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes. So this was about reproduction in fungi. Now we will see some classes of fungi. As you can see, the picture represents some examples of classes of fungi. So one by one we will discuss about this. So first one is Phycomycetes. It is also called as lower fungi. So this class of fungi grow on decaying wood or as obligate parasites on plants. Then their mycelium is aseptate and coinocytic. The spores produced endogenously, that is outside, in sporangium. And asexual reproduction is by zoospores or aplanospores. Zoospores are formed by the fusion of gametes. Okay, so the gametes they can be similar in morphology called as isogamous or dissimilar, that is called as oogamous or anisogamous. An example is Rhizopus, as you can see in the picture. Now next class is Ascomycetes. It is also known as sac fungi. They are saprophytic, decomposers, parasitic, or coprophilous, means growing on dung. The mycelium is branched and septate. Asexual spores are called conidia. They are produced exogenously on the conidiospores. Then the sexual spores are called ascospores, produced endogenously in ascus, produced inside fruiting body called ascocarp. An example of this class is Neurospora. Then third class is Basidiomycetes. The mycelium is septate and branched. Generally, asexual spores are not found in this class. Then the vegetative reproduction is by fragmentation. Sexual reproduction is by fusion of vegetative or somatic cells to form basidium produced in basidiocarp. Basidium produces 4 basidiospores exogenously after meiosis. An example is Agaricus. Now our last class is Deuteromycetes. They are also called as fungi imperfect, as sexual form, means perfect stage is not known for them. And once sexual form, that is perfect stage, is discovered, this member is moved to Ascomycetes or Basidiomycetes. Then their mycelium is septate and branched. They are saprophytic, parasitic or decomposers. An example is Fusarium. More examples are also present in this picture below the names of the particular classes. So this was all about our kingdom fungi. Next kingdom is kingdom Plantae. Kingdom Plantae contains eukaryotic chlorophylla bearing organism. Life cycle is divided into diploid saprophytic and haploid gametophytic, which alternate with each other. Kingdom Plantae includes algae, bryophytes, petridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Now, next kingdom and our last kingdom is kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia contains heterotrophic eukaryotic organisms that are multicellular and cell wall is absent in the cell. The mode of nutrition is Holozoic and reserve food is glycogen or fats. Sexual reproduction is by copulation between male and female followed by embryological development. We will be having more detailed lectures on kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia in our further sections. So for more such videos, follow us on our WhatsApp and Telegram channels, and please subscribe our channel, that is Udify India. Thank you for your attention.